Little fun fact here. One of my favorite vocal warm-ups is the Beach Boys song, Barbara Ann. Just the beginning of it, though. I don't really know the whole song. I might learn it. It's a fun song. It's the, Barbara Ann. Barbara Ann. Barbara Ann. Hey, Barbara Ann. I just like doing that part. Went to the store looking for a man, I think it is. I don't know, I haven't heard it in a while. But I like doing that, because it's a fun thing to do. Somebody said they like it when I sing. I should try to sing more often. Maybe when I finish JoJo Part 2, I'll do Roundabout, because I've been listening to that, a lot, I guess. Well, of course, because fucking the song plays. Like, JoJo is the anime that I'm most likely to watch the opening and the ending for, especially Part 1 and 2. Super especially Part 1, Sonochi no Sadame, fantastic. And then Roundabout by Yes, it's just legendary. And then the second opening, what's it called? The song, oh fuck, I don't actually remember. I listened to it, I think so far I've always listened to it, because it's good. I think I skipped it one time because I was trying to manage time. I was just like, okay, we can watch 20 minutes of anime, so let's watch JoJo, but skip the opening, Hello, Tiger. Hi. Say hi to the mic. Nope, she's not in the talkative mood. Okay. There you go. Good girl. Alright, she's not on my lap, she just popped onto the bed. I'm chilling on my bed. If I went over to the chair, she might follow me. But she's, messing around. Hey. Just being friendly. Roundabout's a very good song. Now I'm thinking about it and I kind of want to do it, but I said that I would do it after I finish. Which I haven't done yet. I'm very close to, though. Maybe tomorrow. Like as soon as I start it, I'm just going to finish it because I will. If I have the time. A food anime I mentioned yesterday. I started that today. It's actually a short. It's about 4 minutes per episode, and it wasn't the best short I've ever seen. So I watched like 4 episodes, and then was like, yeah, no, I don't need to. I don't know. Kind of like. Maybe, I don't know, a lot of it was too predictable, I think. And it's just very simple one. So, yeah, I don't even remember what it was called. It was about, I think, Italian cuisine or French. I don't know, I confused the two. Cultures and all that, I don't know very much about. Like, just anything that isn't America just becomes foreign in my mind, I have like general ideas of where they are on the map, but I know nothing about their culture or anything like that. Even a lot of Japanese culture I don't understand very well. Just, shit I've learned from anime because whatever. And that's just, I don't know. Don't care, maybe. Is that I think that's where it comes from. A little bit, is that I don't care. Sometimes it's interesting, but I'm not actively seeking it because it's just interesting. It's just like, yeah, people in this place do this thing. Okay. Sometimes, we can learn from it, too. Sometimes people do things that are better. Like I don't know if I ever mentioned this before, but the grocery store, Aldi's, I think they're Swedish maybe? No, I don't know. I know IKEA is Swedish. I forget what Aldi's is, but they do this practice where is it called a practice? I don't know. They do a thing where you put a coin into the cart in order to use the cart. You put a coin in the cart, you now have the cart. The only way to get the coin back is to put the cart back. And what that does is it saves money because they don't have to hire people to move carts. Like there's a job at Walmart and places where you're just the cart boy. You go out and just outside and you look for carts around the parking lot and you bring them back to the place. That's it. they hire people to do that. But this system completely eliminates that, because people are going to want their quarterback, so they don't have to hire cart boys, and they can spend more money on the food and less on the things, so they get cheaper food, which is good. Nowhere else here does that. Aldi's is the only place that I know of that does that, but in other countries, that's just common practice. That's just everywhere. So Aldi's brought that over, but it didn't really stick. I don't know, hasn't yet at least. But it's cool that Aldi's does it. Oh god damn it! Are you fucking seriously with this? I don't know. I'm always waiting on her buff. I don't know what it is. I think just the chance is too low. I forget. It's like 20% or something, right? It's. Thank Jesus. Oh man, learned an interesting thing about Jesus, by the way. I mentioned this in my chat, but obviously there are only 20 people there, and then 2 of them even read it. But Jesus is a very ugly baby. That's just what they believed in the past was that Jesus, I forget what the term for it is, but it's Jesus always looked like Jesus for all of his life. So baby Jesus looked like adult Jesus, baby-sized. So he had a very adult face, which did not look good as a baby. There are depictions of him as a baby in really old paintings, and it just looks really kind of ugly. So Jesus was an ugly baby, and that's just a fact of the religion. That's something that used to be believed and is probably written somewhere. I don't know. I haven't read the Bible. I probably should, because I can't say very much, but neither can a lot of people who haven't, really actually studied anything. But I don't know. I don't often argue with religious people, because I know that I don't have the proper place to argue it, because I haven't read the Bible. I just know that, I'm not religious not because I haven't read the Bible. I am certain that if I read the Bible, it will not make me religious. It'll give me more things to make fun of Christianity with, easily, because that's just, I've seen some shows and things, and it's just heard some passages, and there's a lot of crazy shit in the Bible, and I'm sure it's interesting, but it's not, I don't know, it's nothing to follow, change my whole life around, I don't know. What's the term for it? Cherry picking? Yeah. Well, religion, I don't know. Sometimes I talk about religion, and religion is fine as long as you're not, doing something harmful to society or to yourself. That I don't care if you're religious, If you're using religion as an excuse to do something bad, then, or harmful to yourself or to your peers, then I'll get on your ass. But for the most part, I don't know anybody like that. But there was a YouTuber, I don't know, there was a time when I was really into the atheist YouTubers, just because, people like to find people that think like them, and I kind of thought like that, but then it got, I don't know, I noticed how everybody was very aggressive and very angry a lot of the time. There were people that weren't, but there were also people that were very aggressive and angry all the time. And that's just, whatever. But one of those people, I don't remember who they were called. I think they wore a hat a lot. That's all I know, maybe. But they told a story of that they used to be crazy fat, and they grew up in a religious sort of society, in the family and things. And the whole believing, he understood that, he just sort of accepted his fatness as a life, and then sort of, instead of doing something about it, he, put all his hope into religion and into God, and was like this is either how it's supposed to be, or like this is fine because it'll all work out in the end. And then eventually he just realized it's not working out. I'm still fat. I'm still unhealthy. What's going on with my life? And he just sort of reworked his whole system, and now he's not as fat. And he's done that for another one of his family members. I think was like a few years away from dying, almost crazy fat, under the same sort of situation. So he was just like stop this nonsense. Get your act together. Like, be a proper human being. Stay healthy, because like I don't personally know. I've never been massively overweight, I've had some belly fat. Yeah, belly fat kind of runs in my family, like we're a little bit chubby, but we're not fat. I don't like so I don't personally know, but I know people who are getting there, and they don't enjoy it. There are some people who can handle it, because there's like overweight, disgusting fat, and then there's like what I've called strong fat. Like I've known some like heavy set, I think my mom calls it, where they're bigger, but they're stronger. There's a lot of muscle under their fat and things, and sometimes I think maybe that's just some sort of excuse. But I don't know. It's all genetics, and it's all fucking. It's just like I don't know what it's like to be fat. I've never been fat, but I can't assume that it's a good thing, because it's just not like what's supposed to happen, I don't know. Some people are genetically predispositioned to. Some people even just have like weird eating disorders or weird problems where it's literally just like they can't help being fat. Some of that might be an excuse too, but I don't know. I'm not a biologist or anybody who studies any of these things. Everything I know comes from things I've learned from any goddamn place on the earth. It's just wherever the hell it comes from is where it comes from. YouTube, Google. Maybe I've read some article or something. I sometimes read some articles about weight loss and food and things. I'm very interested in food, actually. Food is cool. Weight loss is cool. Just the whole process of how all that works is interesting. But I don't know, who's that guy? Boogie 2998, maybe it is. He's done some great videos about how his fatness is not an enjoyable thing. Because to me, like, fat is just unhealthy. It just is, Like, I don't mean to insult fat people, but at the same time, you shouldn't just put it off on the side and just say, yeah, I'm fat, deal with it, that's who I am, because it's still unhealthy. It's still, like, a detriment to your body. And to ignore it in such a way is not a good idea, like, I don't know. I don't know the tipping point here where it's like completely overweight, like I've seen a few episodes or at least clips of, my 600-pound husband or some shit like that, where they're massively fat people that really need medical attention. And I don't know the point where you're just like chubby or you're unhealthily overweight, and maybe you can still be chubby, I think they call it thick. Thick is a good thing now. Legs specifically, thick legs are good. Fat butts and legs, fill those things up with fat because it's attractive now. Arms, not so much. Stomachs, no, probably not. Some people are into that. I don't know anybody who's really into, like, fucking wide-ass arms. But maybe it's a thing. I don't know too many people who fetishize arms in general, because arms are just common. Arms you see all the time, and they're just like, you see your own arms, you see other people's arms, they're just there, and they're like, okay, arms. I can understand, like, nice-looking hands. But, like, arms, I don't know. Backs and shoulders can look nice. Legs, too. Like, a lot of it is just, you know, what we see a lot of. We can be, like, desensitized towards. So, like, the things that are hidden away, we're more likely to go, oh, that's nice looking. You know? Just completely going off of trends. That seems like the case to me, at least. And of course, there are people that really like faces, and that's just humans just like faces. That sort of breaks my my theory there, but you know, it's still there. It's still a thing. Well, there are also, like, sort of sensitive spots play a key role in what's attractive. I think it's like an evolutionary thing too, because the people more likely to reproduce are the people who are having a lot of sex, and the people who are having a lot of sex are the people who are enjoying the sex. And when like boobs are sensitive. You know? So, like, the whole thing with, like, female breasts are considered a sex thing, but male breasts aren't. And male breasts aren't really that sensitive. Like, they are, but at the same time, they're not as sensitive as a female breast. That's just true. And female breasts are very important to the reproductive cycle. But female breasts become a sex thing because they can be used in sex. You know? Like, there's a physical reaction when you're interacting with the boobs. You know? Like, and that becomes a thing for the woman. And assumably enjoyable thing for women. Some guys like their nipples played with. Because nipples are a sensitive thing too. And I was tying that into legs because legs are usually considered a sensitive thing too. Especially like thighs. Like just lightly, just like rubbing on the thighs is you know, it does something to you. Not as much the arms, because arms are used to that. Arms are, like, you do things with your arms so often that they're not sensitive, but your legs are covered up, your legs are hidden, and when you do things with your legs, they're like, oh, this is interesting. I love how I talk like I know what I'm talking about, and in some ways I do, but in some ways not at all. I am just a person with a lot of thoughts. I am not a scientist or whatever the fuck, or a doctor, just a guy with some words to speak. I don't know, if you're a woman and you like your tits played with, let me know. I want to know this because science. No, like, the whole free the nipple movement is cool, but just, like, naturally, they are a sex thing. You know, boobs are just became an instinctive sex thing because it's just how it is. Well, the whole nature versus nurture thing, do we like tits because we're trained to like tits, or do we like tits naturally? I don't know. Like, I don't know. You know, I just... Who am I to really say any of this? It's just some of its assumptions, some of its science, some of its... well, not any science I've conducted myself, but just a combination of understandings of various minor bits of science. Who the hell am I to tell you how to live your life? I don't even know how to live mine. I'm no role model. I just like talking. I'm good at that, at least. I'm good at that. People tell me I'm good at that. Gosh, I don't know how long this episode is. I know it's very weird. I don't usually talk about sex. I don't usually say that word more than once in these videos at all, maybe. I don't know. It is an interesting thing, though. Like, it'll always be an interesting thing. Sex is always been a part of society because it has to be. That's how we make more of society, is sex. Like, we wouldn't exist without sex. Unless we somehow reproduced asexually, but that doesn't make sense because asexual reproduction is cloning. We can't grow if we're just cloning. We can't change because there's no genetic differences. You know, I don't know, maybe mentally, if I don't know, people haven't cloned humans, so I don't know what's happening, but I mean, as soon as we start cloning humans, we can really get into nature versus nurture, because if we take an exact clone and then put them in a different situation than what they came from, you know, we'll learn more about what are they more inclined to do and shit like that. I don't know. Twins aren't clones, right? Maybe twins are clones. Are twins genetic copies? I'm not sure, actually. I assume twins must be genetic copies, right? But they can be very different people. But they're both raised in the same... Well, no. Because they're not raised in the same way. Because they don't have the exact same brother or sister, you know? Then they aren't treated the exact same way. They're raised in the same environment, but it's impossible to treat them in the exact same way. If you were to take them and somehow like coordinate and like two exact replicas, you would have to, I don't even know, how would you even do that, you know? Because you would have to already have twins to act as the parents. One would, like, or maybe even just completely fake parents. This, by the way, not a good experiment to do. Don't take children from their parents to experiment on them, please. That's... it's just cruel. They used to do that kind of crazy shit in the past, but, like, that's insane. But if you were to, I don't know what would happen. If you were to create two exact same copies of an environment and the people and everything around you, you know, what would they grow up to be the same person? If they were clones, or not clones, but twins, you know, genetic copies raised in the exact same environment with the exact same interactions. What happens? You know, what they can't have the exact same interactions because the babies will randomly do different things, and the reactions to that will have to adjust based on, you know, like the parents will have to adjust to those reactions. You know, you would have to put them in a box with no people and just see what happens, which, again, not a thing you should do. If children don't learn how to be children when they're children, they won't be proper adults. It's just true. Like, don't put babies in a box. unless you like, it's like a crib thing, or like it's a proper place for a baby, and you're not gonna leave it there for days or years and let it grow up in a box by itself. Infants in isolation don't turn out well ever, of any type. I don't think they've put a human baby in isolation. I really hope they haven't. I feel really bad for that baby. I'm pretty sure they've tested on chimps and things, and it never works out. Hey, guess what? I'm actually talking about psychology right now, which some of you may know is a running joke that I'll eventually talk about psychology but won't. But now I just am, because I don't know. I fell into it. It's a very interesting thing. Don't put your baby in a box. Don't experiment on your baby unless it's like really simple shit and you're just learning how to be a parent, and that's what you mean by experiment. You know, like we do tons of tiny experiments all the time. You know, seeing which food a baby likes is an experiment. Because you're just like, here, does the baby like this food? Baby says no. Usually through some sort of body language and not with actual words. Baby doesn't like the food, now you know, and that's that. Sometime down the line, maybe their taste will change. I don't know, babies are fucking weird. It's true. I don't know anything about babies. I've never raised a baby. I've never really held a baby for very long. I like a handful of my elder sisters have had babies, and I've seen them. I don't like holding them though, because it's a precious, fragile life, and it's just like, whoops, I don't know what to do with this thing. The babies are weird. Babies are interesting. Psychology's interesting. Humans are interesting. Religion's interesting. Just the things that humans come up with, it's pretty wackadoo. But I think this is a long enough episode. Take care of yourself. Don't be fat. Don't put your baby in a box.